Hi everyone, I wanted to go over ethics and finance, and as you'll see in the Bruner case study book, the author talks about where ethics should be placed in finance, and he actually puts it first in the text, and he says exactly where it belongs. And I'll tell you what, with everything that has been going on in the world and the environment that continues to evolve, ethics and finance is indeed, I believe, is the first priority. It is the most important thing. Having integrity when you're working in accounting and finance, especially in the risk function or accounting function, is absolutely critical. And as you're going to see this week, what we're looking at is to start essentially planting a seed for your initial project and your final project. And your project will be to fully analyze a company, create a valuation model, address risk and opportunities, and also address what are they doing from a sustainable finance perspective. So, where does ethics and finance begin? And I think there's one field of sustainable finance and investing in things that create value for the environment. Um, the other piece is what kind of values are being put into projects, into teamwork, into processes, and into whole companies. So part of what I want you to look at is when you read this article and when you go through the discussion is looking at some of these values that firms are listing and becoming curious into how would you what values are you attracted to from a perspective of what do you want to research further, and also learning how to read these reports in terms of sustainability is we see that the field is becoming 8.7 trillion large in terms of how much is managed in funds that are going into sustainable finance, and how this field is growing, and what are the ESG metrics that are related to measuring it. And we're going to go further this semester into actually using KPMG methodology on how to assess what they call true value, which is the company's financial value as well as the valuation of its externalities, which means positive externalities like providing jobs, like creating education for their workforce, and negative externalities such as for train companies, it could be the noise pollution or delays, negative externalities. It could be environmentally related. It could actually be nothing to do with the environment. Like, for example, for in the technology firms, a popular one is data security, having potential data security issues that could become very negative. I know recently with Facebook, their valuation went down by about $100 billion because there was data issues, or people are not trusting the data as much. So now the market actually has reflected that back as a real realization, what I call a realization of a negative externality, where the company value actually went down because what KPMG says, they actually internalized that externality now onto their balance sheet, onto their valuation, and their value was affected by about $100 billion. So part of risk management and what we're going to be looking at today is where the risks, where the opportunities in a company to create value or to protect value. And for this week's module with the discussion, we're going to focus on the ethics piece. We're going to focus on the CSR piece. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the discussions.